Now, a day after the United States Federal Reserve hiked interest rates for the second consecutive time, worrying government data now shows that the U.S. economy has actually contracted for a second quarter between April and June. Now, this contraction for a second straight quarter is fueling the fears of a recession. Technically, a definition of recession means two consecutive quarters where the GDP contracts. The US GDP, or the gross domestic product, declined at an annual rate of 0.9%, adding pressure on the Biden administration ahead of November midterm polls. However, the president insists that the American economy is actually on the right path, despite the slowdown that's been witnessed for 6 straight months now.
There's going to be a lot of chatter today on Wall Street and among pundits about whether we are in a recession. But if you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress in the second quarter as well. Our job market remains historically strong. Our economy created more than 9 million jobs since I came to office, in no small part because of the people on this stage. Our economy created more than 1 million jobs in the second quarter, the same period as today's GDP report covers. And our unemployment rate is 3.6%, near a record historic low.
Now, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen also said that while the second quarter contraction was a sign of a slowdown, the economy is still pretty strong, especially the job sector. Now, Yellen also touted the Biden administration's achievement over the last 18 months, achievements which include employment gains following record job losses at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Further, she also described the economy as pretty resilient.
Over the course of the administration, our economy has created over 9 million jobs, and the labor market is now at full employment. In 2021, we saw the biggest single-year decline in unemployment on record and the biggest year of economic growth in almost 4 decades. Fixed investment has recovered to pre-pandemic trend in just 2 years.
Meanwhile, the report also mentions that the slowdown is due to drop in government spending. It points out that the PCE, or the personal consumption expenditure, continued to increase, but at a much slower rate than prior quarters. The Wall Street closed higher following the data, as experts remain hopeful that Fed will pause rate hikes going forward on the same. But recession fears remain, as Fed has hinted that hikes could continue even in the face of an economic slowdown to ensure that inflation is curbed to the goal of just 2%. And our correspondent Susan Tehrani has been tracking this story very closely for us and has sent us this report. Listen in.
The U.S. economy shrank for a second quarter in a row, the common definition of a recession. Businesses are trimming their inventories. The housing market has buckled up due to rising interest rates, and high inflation has taken steam out of consumer confidence. And while it's unfortunate that the Biden administration is spending so much time trying to find favorable vocabulary to describe the economy, most Americans don't care about such gimmicks. What they do want is economic relief at the gas pump, at the grocery store, and elsewhere. President Biden said that the United States is, quote, not in a recession, adding that it's no surprise that the economy is slowing down amid inflation. With the upcoming midterm elections, it seems that the president and this administration continues to be worried about the political fallout more than anything else when it comes to recession. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World This Morning.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.